So I was in this psychosis of thinking that my ex was cheating on me with one of my brothers, my cousins, and I I knew I was tripping, right? And I knew it was just my head playing tricks because obviously I've done this in the past, and I was sick and tired of repeating the cycle over and over again, and I was tired of living that lifestyle. And I had this flashback of when I just turned 30 and me and her were laying in bed. And I remember rolling over in bed and I asked her, like, aren't you sick of this? Like, she's like, sick of what? And then, like, I don't know, hurting, not having any place to go, not having a family, just, just being a piece of shit, really. And she's like, yeah, I guess. I don't know, like, don't you miss your son? And because we used to have her son when we had tried to get clean, got some trust back from her parents or from her mom. And so I was like, don't you miss your son? Now you got taken care of, not taking him away, or we got him taken away. And she just kind of didn't give it any thought. I don't think I can't speak on that actually.
Yeah.
But I told her, I was like, man, like I'm 30, it's my 30th birthday, and here I am, no family, no place to live, you know, barely being able to stay here. And you know, I'm 30 years old. I got all these certificates. You know, I'm just wasting my life right now. I can't do this anymore. We should try to get clean. And she's like, okay. And then cycle repeats itself. Come down long enough, you gotta get it right. So on that night, after we got high together, she left, and I just ended up calling one of my cousins because she lives in Lincoln, and she was down in Entry seeing her family and doing other activities. But the night before, earlier than that day, had seen her, and she told me if I ever want to get out of Mandarin and try to get clean, that she would help me because she was trying to get clean also still, you know, suffering from the disease of addiction. And I told her, I was like, yeah, all right, bet. But I ended up calling her that night, and it was about midnight, and I told her, you really down to give me a ride? And I can't stay with you. She's like, of course, brother. I was like, why? She's like, why, are you trying to do that? I was like, yeah, actually, right now, where you at? She's like, well, I'm coming back to Newtown, almost to the T. And I was like, all right, well, I'll be packed. So from her house, or from the house I was at, I went to where I was staying, and I packed all my stuff and put her stuff to the side or whatever, just separated it. And I packed all my stuff, packed all my bedding, and she pulled up, and then I hopped in her ride. And she brought me to Lincoln and let me try out for like 4 days. And I think it was November 5th, I finally went and knocked on my brother's door. And he opened the door, and it was just starting to snow out. And he opened the door, and he like looked surprised, you know. And I didn't know what his reaction was gonna be.
Yeah.
Thought he was gonna punch me or hug me.
Yeah.
But he just he'll step back and open his door, just come in, you hungry? And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, kinda, not really, but yeah. It's just 3 days clean, you know.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there on the couch, and he's asking me like, what are you doing? You know, like, I've actually been up here for 3 days, and I'm 3 days clean. I was gonna come sooner, but I didn't want to have anything in my system or be too sick coming over here. And I actually don't know what I'm doing, but need help.
Yeah.
I should have asked him, I need help. I can't do it anymore. And then there was a meeting that night. It was a Wednesday night, so we went to Circle of Serenity, a meeting that used to be you know, west of town here, but it shut down. But anyway, I went to that meeting, and my brother Vinny, my brother Greg, my sister Lena and my niece Des were all at that meeting, and that was the first time all three of us were together since my mom died. You know, it was like we all broke down and cried that night, or I don't want to say that we all, but they did. I tried to.
Yeah.
I wanted to, but I was still so numb, you know.
Yeah.
So, and then that weekend, there was a convention, an NA convention in Grand Forks, and my brother Vinny asked me if I'd want to go, and said Lena and Greg and a bunch of their friends are gonna be there, and I was like, well, I don't know your friends, like, why would I go? And he's like, well, what else are you gonna do? Go back to that house and maybe use?
Yeah.
Maybe sit there wishing for them to offer you something? So like, all right then. Yeah. So we went to that convention, and I didn't know anybody. I felt completely out of place, and you know, everybody that they introduced me to, they told me that they were glad I was there, that they loved me, and to keep coming back, right? And they were happy that I was there. And you know, at first I like laughed at them. I was like, shut up, like you don't even know me.
Yeah.
But I tried to be open-minded, I guess. Even though so like I had this head full of recovery for the past 3 months, and I was just finally able to embrace it, and I had a really hard time, because that contentment, that resentment from how my siblings first treated me when they first got to the rooms, and trying to push me into the rooms and acting fake. So after that convention, the next week I had treatment, and I went to Raleigh PRC Prayer Recovery Center in November 17th. You know, the night before I went, so 7 days clean at the convention, right? Got done at the convention, and then my brother bought me a phone, and I made a new Facebook, and somehow got a hold of my ex, trying to see if she's still going to treatment, and you know, trying to get some makeup before I leave. And the night before I went to treatment, she came to Bismarck, and she got a hotel room, and we were gonna stay one last night together. And it literally was the last night we stayed together. Because she came up, she had pills on her, and even though I didn't want to use, I used. And before my brother really dropped me off, he said something to me that I just couldn't wrap my head around, and that was never have to use again. And I just laughed at him, slammed the door. Whatever, man. I went inside, and she had a couple cans of juice for me, and a pill for me, and we got high, I drank, we argued, I accused her, she accused me. Just instantly, the cycle repeated itself. So then we just went to bed, woke up the next day, I was hungover, so I went and got some more shooters before I went to that treatment center. Went to Good Road, and did my physical, and waited for transport to come. So then I went to Raleigh on November 17th, all the way to January 20th. While I was in there, you know, I had a lot of time to reflect, because it was through the holidays, through Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and I was in the middle of nowhere with people I don't know. And you know, this time I actually gave it a shot, because this time was different from the last time, because this time I was going to treatment for myself. I wasn't going to fix my relationship. I wasn't going to make my family happy. I was going because I was sick and tired of being depressed and being alone and having no purpose in life. So I was in there for 63 days, and after that came to sober living, And I remember when I was in treatment, all I did was read the NA book, steps 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3. You know, every morning I'd highlight something new. But I would always get to the part on step 4 where it says, we suggest you work this step with the sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
And I still skeptical about working this program. But I was thinking I could do this 1, 2, and 3 all day. I don't need a sponsor. But I came to Sober Living, and right away my first day here, I went to Big Book Study. And I walked in and I see the people who were running it. I seen Big Man and JB running Big Book. And they were talking about the first step in, because your problem is not alcohol, your problem is not drugs, your problem is your lack of power. And we have a spiritual malady that only a power greater than ourselves can fix. You know, and so that's the problem with step 1. So the answer to step 1 is step 2 and the rest of the steps, and working a sponsor, right? And I don't know, like I don't believe in coincidences. I believe in synchronicities. So my mind was finally right. I was finally in the right spot, and I became willing, you know. And that first day in Sober Living, that first day in Big Book, it gave me a flashback. And I remember after that convention, I was sitting on my brother Vinny's couch, and he was playing in the living room with his baby boy and his wife, just talking. And I remember looking at him, and I was still sick, but like coming down didn't feel good. But I remember the look he had on his face, that smile, that laugh, and all I knew was this guy stayed clean through my mom's death and through other family members' deaths over the past couple of years. Like, how the heck did he do it? And you know, I sat there thinking, like, got a sponsor, he worked the steps.
Yeah.
So I don't know. From there, I just took all the suggestions. I became willing to do whatever is necessary. You know, any lengths, willing to go to any lengths, and I got a sponsor. I started working the NA steps, and I remember sitting down with my sponsor for the first time, Kyle White Bear, and he told me, he was like, don't you want to be free? Look at all these guys walking around here laughing, smiling, not a care in the world, their heads held high. Like, don't you want that? And I was like, kind of like felt cheesy or corny to say yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to be sad no more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want that. So we started working the steps, and I got through them. And after getting through the steps and finding my own sponsee, I think this time last year, or last June, there was, last July, one of my brothers, or one of my cousins who raised me passed away, or he didn't raise me, but he like taught me how to work, taught me how to like be a man, you know, and I don't know, I was really close to him growing up, and he passed away, and I really didn't know what to do, you know. For the first time, I didn't know what to do, but I didn't want to use, right? And all I knew how to do was call somebody. So I called my sponsor, and then all of a sudden I had a sponsee. And as soon as I got back from the trip I was at, I think it was the Knights August trip, in Garrison, and yeah, we met up, and you know, I was taking him through the steps, and I swear, like in the Big Book, it says nothing is when all else fails, working with another alcoholic will save our lives, right?
Great.
That was it. So that's what I did. I worked with him, And in that moment was when I truly believed and started to wholeheartedly understand and feel the power of this program. You know, this fellowship has saved my life in more than one way. You know, I not only gained my sanity back, I gained self-acceptance. You know, I have unconditional love from the group of men that I live with, from my coworkers, my home group, um, just everything that I have today. You know, I wouldn't have without working the steps.
Yeah.
And so today I have like a little over 17 months clean.
Oh yeah, awesome.
And last October I did some peer support training, so I'm peer support certified. And in November I got asked if I would be a house manager for the house I live at. You know, and one thing my sponsors have taught me is to never say no when you're asked to do something.
Yeah.
So I try not to, but I have my moments, and I'm run by fears sometimes. I honestly almost said no to you. But I was supposed to go do HNAC tonight too.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I was too tired. I met with 2 sponsors today.
Yeah.
But you know, as I said earlier, everything happens for a reason. I believe in synchronicities and divine timing. So you asking me, I took it as that.
There you go.
So yeah, today I'm a house manager. I get to be of service to my recovery community. I get to be a role model and lead by example. I try to demonstrate these principles in all my affairs. I'm a secretary for multiple recovery subcommittees. We are currently planning 2 events in the next month or 2. You know, I just got nominated to be secretary for area of Narcotics Anonymous, so that's pretty dope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've taken care of all my warrants right now. Tomorrow, actually, I have court, so wish me luck.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah. Yeah, just today I live a life free from active addiction, and I get to be of service whenever I'm called upon. You know, and I don't have any complaints. You know, life couldn't be better even in my wildest dreams.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you got any questions.
Yeah, that's it, Anjo.
Yeah.
But Jerry's here. I remember when Joe first came into the rooms, like he was quiet, you know, he was that guy in the corner. Obviously we all are when we come into these sober living houses, you know, it's a new beginning for us and we don't realize it. So I remember Joe coming in and, you know, being the quiet guy in the corner. And I knew Vinny and I knew Elena from the rooms because when I came to sober living, you know, I started going to meetings and I remember Elena and Vinny in there. Shout out to them. And then they're like, this is my little brother Joe. I was like, oh shit, all right, cool. You know, and then I seen the transition from Joe when he first came. You know, he described it of, you know, just being different. You know, not a bad different, but just different. You know, everything's new. And then I seen the transition to where he slowly just started growing. You know, in recovery. It's an awesome to be witness to that. You know, and to this day, like he comes up to me and shakes my hand, gives me a hug, tells me he loves me, you know, and it's a totally different person, you know, from what I know or I knew back then. And like he's just happy, joyous, and free, you know. It's awesome, man, to see that transition, you know. Freaking Joe's crazy, man. Like it's just one of the miracles of the recovery, man. Like definitely a recovery warrior, you know, fighting the battle every day, man. And I look up to him too, you know. I was in the house before him, but I still look up to him. I look forward to seeing him in the morning. You know, he just brings that spark of life into the office where all our house managers, we meet in the morning for huddle. And here comes Joe, you know, he comes in shaking hands, giving hugs, spreading the word of love, you know. And it's an awesome feeling, man, just to witness that. And you know, we're not the only ones in this program. You know, there's numerous house managers, and we've all gone through that transition, and we're here to help. You know what I mean? We're here to you know, pass the message, and that's what we do. And like I said before, you know, if you guys want to be on my channel, just comment below and, you know, hit me up. I'm on Facebook if you guys want to, you know, message me on Facebook and ask me. I'm booked through June, so until then, you know, I have one speaker on every week, and you know, I had a speaker on tonight and she flaked, so I seen Joe earlier and he's like, I just got to want to sponsor you meetings, and so I don't know, something told me to call him, and I did, and he was happy to jump on the show. You know, thank you, Joe. Yeah, hell yeah, brother. It was a good experience, and if you guys like what you see, hit that like, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe, man. Thank you guys for watching, and love you guys.